I didn't hear her heels, only her voice. Still allergic to shellfish? It stopped me mid-sentence, right as my board of vultures stood from the wreckage of the failed $500 million acquisition. I turned. She stood there, flawless and black, eyes like obsidian cut into human form. 16 years, but I knew her. Marla. She used to sit beside me in 6th grade. Clothes faded, stomach louder than her voice. I gave her half my sandwich every day for a year. Then she vanished. No goodbye, no trace. Until now. And she chose today, the day they gutted my career and left me bleeding in my own boardroom. I said nothing, because I already knew. This wasn't a reunion. It was a reckoning. She followed me out of the boardroom like shadow follows blood on tile. Said she happened to be in the building. Coincidence doesn't wear a $12,000 watch and heels that scream precision. Over drinks, mine untouched, she told me she was in mergers now. Power suits, silent offices. Silence, mostly. She mentioned the deal, the collapse, the buyout that never came. I studied her. Every word perfectly casual, but too perfect. There's something about people who climb too fast. Their smiles curve just a bit too wide. My name had been whispered in the industry like a curse ever since the deal imploded. She offered me a toast, said, "To second chances." And that's when I knew. She wasn't here to reconnect. She was here to finish something. Something she started years ago when she learned what hunger really meant. I didn't sleep that night, not because of the deal. I'd buried worse. But because her face haunted me, not as she was now, but how she looked that winter morning. Frostbitten cheeks, cracked lips, looking at my sandwich like it was salvation. I started digging. Her name wasn't Marla anymore. She'd changed it, rebranded like a product. But I found the link, small, almost invisible. Her name tied to the competitor that outbid me 3 days before the collapse. A name buried 3 layers deep behind shell corporations and overseas firms. Too clean, too exact, like someone had engineered the failure. She hadn't just appeared after the storm. She was the storm. I found an internal memo from a contact inside that rival firm, 6 weeks before the deal folded. Asset M has confirmed behavioral patterns. Leverage childhood connection if necessary. Engage if Phase 2 fails. Asset M. Marla. I printed the file. Black ink, white truth. And I waited. She invited me to dinner the next night. Private room, low light, red wine she didn't sip. I brought no appetite, just the folder. Midway through her story about reinventing herself, I slid it across the table. Her voice stopped mid-sentence. She didn't touch it, just stared. "You knew," I said. She looked up, calm, serene. "No," she said, "I planned." I didn't flinch. "You wanted me to fail." She didn't deny it. "You once gave me food when I had nothing. Now I take empires from men who never knew hunger." I leaned back, watched the truth bloom across the table like spilled ink. "You ruined $500 million for a memory," I said. She smiled. "No," she whispered. "I invested it." She thought she had the last word, but I wasn't the same boy who split sandwiches. I'd seen too many knives hidden in handshakes. The next morning, I sent one email to her firm's board. Subject, undeclared conflict of interest, Asset M. Attached, the memo, the shell trail, her real name. By noon, she was pulled from 3 merger negotiations. By evening, she was suspended for review. And by morning, the same media that praised her ruthless rise began circling like bloodhounds. She called me, twice, left a message. "You of all people should understand. We come from nothing." I didn't respond. Instead, I had lunch, alone. Turkey sandwich, white bread, just like the one I gave her that winter. Except this one, I finished. They offered me my seat back. I declined. Sometimes revenge isn't climbing higher. It's pulling the ladder down behind you. I watched her name vanish from headlines over the next few weeks. Her silence said everything. We both knew she hadn't failed. She'd just picked the wrong man to starve. Some debts collect interest. Some ghosts come back dressed as angels. But when they do, make sure they remember who fed them and remind them you never stopped being hungry.